Maybe it was a perfectly pan-seared salmon fillet, a comforting piece of baked cod, or perhaps a simple, healthy steamed fish with a touch of ginger and scallions. And you thought to yourself, eating fish has got to be healthy, right? Well, it's fish. Almost everyone says it, from doctors to nutrition experts. Fish is often called a golden food for health. And honestly, most of the time, that's absolutely true. Fish is a fantastic source of lean, easily digestible protein, crucial for maintaining muscle mass, something incredibly important as we get older. And then there are the omega-3s. We hear so much about these magical fatty acids, EPA and DHA. They're like the building blocks for heart and brain health, helping keep our minds sharp and our hearts strong, especially as the years go by. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But have you ever stopped to wonder if all fish offer the same benefits? What if I told you that some of the most popular fish out there, the ones we often trust are helping us live healthier, longer lives, might actually be doing more harm than good? What if I revealed that certain specific types of fish could be slowly, silently wearing down your body, quietly damaging your memory, your nervous system, even your precious heart, and you wouldn't even know it until it was potentially too late? It might sound hard to believe, but here's the crucial point. Most people have absolutely no idea. You see, as we age, our bodies aren't quite the same well-oiled machines they were in our youth. The body's natural detoxification systems, particularly the liver and kidneys, start to slow down a bit. They have to work harder to filter out unwanted substances. The immune system also becomes a little less responsive. This is a natural part of aging, nothing alarming in itself, but it does mean that older adults, those over 60, become significantly more vulnerable to harmful agents like mercury, other heavy metals, and toxic chemical residues. And sadly, many of these hidden enemies are lurking inside certain kinds of fish. These could be fish that look perfectly healthy, fish sold as premium items, even fish that doctors might have readily recommended in the past without a second thought. Maybe you don't eat these fish every single day. Maybe it's just an occasional weekend barbecue, a family gathering, or a meal out to treat yourself. But those occasional moments add up over time, accumulating in a body that's become more sensitive, potentially leading to significant consequences. I'm not here to scare you. My purpose is to inform, to warn you, because if you're over 60, or if you love and care for parents or grandparents in this age group, then the information we're about to cover could truly be a golden key to protecting long-term health. So in today's discussion, we're going to identify 6 specific types of fish that older adults should absolutely avoid at all costs. This isn't guesswork. It's based on health research, real-life stories, and the advice nutrition experts are quietly urging older folks to follow. Some of these might be in your fridge right now. Others appear frequently on restaurant menus, and one of them, fish number 4 on our list, might just shock you the most. Stick with me until the end, so you know exactly which fish to steer clear of, why they pose a risk, and most importantly, you'll discover safer, nutritious, and delicious alternatives you can enjoy without sacrificing taste or your precious health. Are you ready? Let's begin this important journey together. Before we get started, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions you have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from Elder's Guidance. All right, we've established that while fish can be incredibly healthy, certain types carry hidden dangers, especially for older adults. But why? What exactly are these risks we need to understand? Let's break down the main culprits lurking beneath the surface. First, let's tackle the big one, mercury, specifically a form called methylmercury. You hear about mercury warnings, but how does it actually end up in fish at dangerous levels? It starts with mercury entering waterways, both naturally and from industrial pollution. Tiny organisms absorb it. Small fish eat those organisms. Larger fish eat the smaller fish, and so on, up the food chain. With each step, the mercury becomes more concentrated. This process is called biomagnification. That means the largest predatory fish, the ones that live longest and eat lots of other fish, like some we'll discuss soon, accumulate the highest levels. Now, why is this a problem, especially for seniors? Mercury is a potent neurotoxin. When it builds up in your system, and remember, older bodies often have a harder time filtering out toxins, it can start interfering with your brain and nervous system. This isn't just about minor forgetfulness. We're talking potential links to serious cognitive decline, nerve damage that can cause tingling or numbness, loss of coordination, tremors, and even increased cardiovascular stress. Because it accumulates over time, even occasional consumption of high mercury fish can contribute to problems down the road. Next up, let's look at contaminants often associated with farmed fish. While fish farming, or aquaculture, can be done responsibly, certain common practices, especially in large-scale industrial farms with less stringent regulations, raise concerns. Imagine thousands of fish packed into crowded underwater pens. These conditions can unfortunately be breeding grounds for diseases and parasites. To combat this, farmers sometimes rely heavily on antibiotics. The issue here is twofold. Firstly, some fish imported from areas with looser regulations might be treated with antibiotics banned in places like the US due to health concerns. Secondly, the overuse of antibiotics contributes to the global crisis of antibiotic resistance, meaning bacteria evolve to survive these drugs. If a senior, with a potentially weaker immune system, gets sick from bacteria resistant to antibiotics, treatment becomes much more difficult. Beyond antibiotics, the feed used in some fish farms can be a source of other harmful chemicals like PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, and dioxins. These are persistent industrial pollutants that find their way into the environment and can contaminate fish feed ingredients. Studies have linked these chemicals to serious health problems, including cancer, hormone disruption, and immune system damage. All significant concerns for aging bodies already working harder to stay healthy. You might even find that some farmed salmon gets its appealing pink color not just from its diet, but sometimes from added chemical colorants, because without them, the flesh might appear grayish. Finally, there's the risk of bacteria and parasites. This is particularly relevant for fish consumed raw or undercooked, like the ahi tuna often found in sushi. While a strong, youthful immune system might handle occasional exposure to bacteria like salmonella or listeria, an older adult's weakened immune defenses might not be up to the task. What might cause mild stomach upset in a younger person could lead to severe illness, hospitalization, or worse in someone over 65. The body simply can't fight off these pathogens as effectively as it used to. So, we have heavy metals like mercury concentrating up the food chain, potential contaminants like antibiotics and industrial chemicals in some farmed fish operations, and bacterial risks, especially with raw fish. Understanding these distinct dangers helps us see why choosing the right fish becomes so critically important as we age. Now that we know what we're looking out for, let's dive into the specific 6 fish that pose the greatest concerns. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matters to me either way. Okay, now that we understand the types of risks, mercury, contaminants, bacteria, let's get specific. We're going to go through the 6 fish highlighted as particularly concerning for older adults, one by one. We'll start with the first three right now. Fish number 1, king mackerel. First on our list is king mackerel. This one often gets praised for its rich flavor, and you might see it grilled or smoked. Perhaps it reminds you of family barbecues. Maybe an older relative swears by it, saying it's good for the heart and brain. And fish can be great for those things. But king mackerel carries a significant hidden risk: high mercury levels. Remember how we talked about mercury accumulating up the food chain? King mackerel is one of the fish where this concentration becomes a real problem. For an older adult whose body doesn't flush out toxins as efficiently, this buildup can quietly lead to troubling symptoms. Think increased tiredness, unusual forgetfulness, misplacing things, forgetting names or appointments, maybe even slight hand tremors. Over time, this mercury accumulation can contribute to more serious cognitive decline and nerve damage. Now, here's a common point of confusion. King mackerel sounds very similar to Atlantic mackerel, but they are very different fish. Atlantic mackerel is typically smaller, has much lower mercury levels, is high in beneficial nutrients like omega-3s, and is actually considered a very safe and healthy choice for seniors. King mackerel, however, is the larger fish with the higher mercury content that you need to avoid. So, double-check the type if you see mackerel on sale or on a menu. The safer swap. Instead of risking the high mercury in king mackerel, opt for fish known for their healthy fats and low mercury content. Excellent choices include wild-caught salmon, especially from Alaska, or sardines. Both are packed with those brain-boosting, heart-healthy omega-3s, but don't carry the heavy metal burden, making them a much smarter and safer choice for long-term wellness. Next up is tilefish. This one can be particularly sneaky, because you might not even realize you're eating it. Have you ever been at a nice restaurant and ordered the whitefish special or the catch of the day? It sounds light, flaky, and healthy, perhaps served grilled with a lemon butter sauce. But often that unspecified whitefish could very well be tilefish. Why is this a concern? Tilefish, especially the variety caught in the Gulf of Mexico, has some of the highest mercury levels found in any fish, often even higher than king mackerel. For older adults, this is a serious red flag. That high mercury load directly targets neurological health, impacting your brain function, balance, memory, and even your mood. Over time, mercury toxicity from sources like tilefish can lead to symptoms like numbness, confusion, significant memory loss, and in some cases, symptoms that mimic dementia. What makes it trickier is that tilefish might sometimes be presented as a premium, more expensive option on menus. Don't let a higher price tag fool you into thinking it's healthier. In this case, it's quite the opposite. The safer swap. When dining out or buying unspecified whitefish, always ask, "What kind of fish is this?" You have every right to know what you're eating. If the answer is tilefish, politely decline. Instead, ask for safer whitefish alternatives like cod or haddock. Both have a mild flavor, are easy on digestion, and are much lower in mercury, protecting your brain health. Our third fish to avoid is swordfish. Swordfish often carries an image of elegance, maybe even luxury. You don't typically see it at casual weeknight dinners. It tends to show up at celebratory meals, on cruise ships, or at upscale restaurants. Perhaps you or an older loved one might think, "I'll treat myself this time. I'll have the swordfish." It sounds special, flavorful, maybe even like a healthy indulgence. But here's the hidden danger. Swordfish are large, long-living predatory fish. They spend many years swimming the oceans, accumulating toxins from the smaller fish they eat. As a result, that impressive-looking swordfish steak can be heavily loaded with mercury. Remember, mercury doesn't just pass through your system. especially not in older bodies where metabolism and detoxification have slowed. It tends to accumulate, particularly affecting the kidneys, the nervous system, and the brain. This increases the risk of nerve damage, memory problems, tremors, and cognitive decline. And if someone already has issues like kidney strain or high blood pressure, eating high mercury fish like swordfish could worsen things. A dangerous assumption people make is that grilling or cooking the fish thoroughly will destroy the mercury. Unfortunately, that's not true. You cannot cook mercury out. It remains in the fish meat regardless of preparation method. The safer swap. If you enjoy a hearty, meaty fish like swordfish, there are safer alternatives that deliver great flavor without the high mercury risk. Consider trout, especially rainbow trout or pollock, like Alaskan pollock. Both offer a satisfying texture, are low in mercury, packed with healthy fats, and are much gentler on aging organs. It's about making that smart swap, trading risk for nourishment. So, that covers the first three: king mackerel, tilefish, and swordfish, the common thread. Dangerously high mercury levels posing a significant threat to the neurological health of older adults. Stay tuned, because next, we'll tackle the final 3 fish on our list, including one that's incredibly popular and might just surprise you the most. We've covered the first 3 high mercury culprits: king mackerel, tilefish, and swordfish. Now let's move on to the final 3 fish on our list that older adults should steer clear of. These next ones involve slightly different, or sometimes combined, risks. This one might really surprise you, especially because sushi and fresh tuna dishes are so popular these days, even among older crowds. You see that beautiful, deep red slice of ahi tuna on a sushi platter, or seared rare in a restaurant, and it looks fresh, modern, maybe even light and healthy. However, ahi, or big-eye tuna, presents a double threat for seniors. First, just like swordfish, it's a large, deep-swimming predator high up on the food chain, meaning it accumulates significant levels of mercury. So, all the neurological risks we discussed earlier apply here too. But ahi tuna adds another layer of risk because it's very often eaten raw or lightly seared. This introduces the danger of bacteria and parasites. As we discussed, older adults often have weakened immune systems. Exposure to bacteria like salmonella or listeria, which can be present in raw fish, might cause severe illness in someone over 65, far beyond simple stomach upset. It can lead to serious infections that are hard for the body to fight off. Combining the high mercury load with the risk of bacterial infection makes ahi or big-eye tuna a particularly risky choice for seniors. It's crucial to understand that not all tuna is created equal. Many people see tuna and assume it's all the same, especially thinking of the canned variety. But big-eye, ahi, tuna, and albacore tuna, often sold as white tuna in cans or as tuna steaks, are the types generally higher in mercury. The safer choice is skipjack tuna, which is typically what's used in canned light tuna. The safer swap. If you enjoy tuna, make the switch to canned light tuna. Check the label to ensure it's skipjack. It's much lower in mercury, affordable, and easy to portion. Even then, it's wise for seniors to limit consumption to about 2 servings per week. And whenever possible, opt for fully cooked tuna dishes rather than raw preparations like sushi or poke bowls made with ahi tuna. Walk into almost any grocery store, and you'll see neat fillets of salmon on display, often with vibrant pink flesh and perhaps an attractive price tag. Salmon is widely hailed as a superfood, packed with omega-3s. But here's the critical distinction. Not all salmon is created equal, and much of the readily available, affordable salmon is farmed, often imported from regions with less stringent regulations. The issue isn't salmon itself, but how it's often farmed. Industrial salmon farms raise thousands of fish in crowded underwater pens. These conditions can lead to rapid spread of diseases and parasites. To manage this, farm salmon are often fed antibiotics. Furthermore, the feed pellets they consume can sometimes be made from lower-grade ingredients and may be contaminated with PCBs and dioxins. Those harmful industrial chemicals we discussed earlier, linked to cancer and immune system problems. The unnaturally vibrant pink color. Sometimes it comes from added colorants in the feed, because the fish's diet doesn't provide the natural pigments found in wild salmon. For an older adult, consuming farmed salmon regularly could mean inadvertently ingesting residues of antibiotics and potentially harmful chemicals, which can trigger inflammation, put extra strain on the body, and counteract the very health benefits they hope to gain from eating fish. The safer swap. The clear winner here is wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Wild salmon swim freely, eat a natural diet, are generally free from antibiotics and contaminants found in some farming operations, and often boast higher levels of beneficial omega-3s and naturally occurring antioxidants like astaxanthin, which gives them their genuine color. Yes, wild salmon is typically more expensive, but consider it a worthwhile investment in clean, high-quality nutrition and long-term health. Look for labels specifying wild Alaskan salmon. This last one might hit close to home for some, as catfish is often a comfort food, perhaps fried up crispy for family gatherings, evoking fond memories. But the source of that catfish matters immensely. Much of the catfish available, especially cheaper options, is imported, often from parts of Asia where fish farming practices may be unregulated. The problem? These unregulated fish farms might use antibiotics and chemicals banned in other countries due to health risks, including concerns about promoting antibiotic resistance. Sanitation standards can also be poor, increasing the risk of bacterial contamination. When a senior with a less robust immune system eats catfish raised in such conditions, they could be exposed to drug-resistant bacteria or harmful chemical residues their body isn't equipped to handle, potentially leading to serious illness. That low price tag can come at a very high hidden cost to health. The safer swap. If you enjoy catfish, the key is to choose U.S.-farmed catfish. Fish farming standards in the United States are generally much stricter regarding water quality, feed ingredients, and the use of antibiotics. Look specifically for catfish labeled as U.S. farmed for a safer choice. And regardless of the source, always ensure catfish is cooked thoroughly to minimize any risk from bacteria. Comfort food should bring comfort, not danger. So, there you have it. The final three. Ahi tuna, with its dual risk, farmed salmon with potential contaminants, and imported catfish, carrying risks from unregulated farming. Now that we've identified all 6 fish, what does this mean for you? And how can you make safer choices moving forward? Let's talk about that next. Knowing the risks is the first step. Now let's focus on making safer choices easily. Become a savvy shopper. Always check fish labels for the specific type of fish and its origin. Was it wild-caught or farmed? If the label is unclear, or you're at a restaurant, don't hesitate to ask, "What kind of fish is this, and where is it from?" You have the right to know. Remember those safer, often budget-friendly options we discussed? Canned light tuna, skipjack, and sardines are excellent low-mercury choices packed with nutrients. Consider making these staples. Crucially, understand what cooking does and doesn't do. Cooking fish thoroughly kills harmful bacteria, essential for fish like catfish. However, cooking does not remove or reduce mercury. Choose low-mercury fish from the start. By reading labels asking questions, choosing safer alternatives, and understanding cooking's limits, you can confidently enjoy fish while protecting your health. It's about making simple, intentional choices. So, we've journeyed together through some important, perhaps even concerning, information today. Let's take a moment to bring it all together and reflect on what this truly means. We've identified 6 specific fish that older adults should really think twice about before putting on their plate. King mackerel, tilefish, swordfish, ahi or big eye, tuna, farmed salmon, and imported catfish. Each carries its own unique risk, whether it's high levels of mercury impacting the brain and nervous system, potential contaminants like antibiotics and industrial chemicals from certain farming practices, or dangerous bacteria posing a threat to a more vulnerable immune system. These risks truly matter when our bodies are more sensitive in our later years. But please, don't let this information leave you feeling fearful or overwhelmed. Instead, I hope it leaves you feeling empowered, because this knowledge, it's power. Knowing what to look for, understanding the potential risks, and being aware of safer alternatives puts you back in control of your health choices. It means you can navigate the grocery store or a restaurant menu, not out of fear, but out of informed intention. Think about the people you love, your parents, your grandparents, perhaps your spouse, or even yourself. Making these careful, conscious choices about the food we eat is a profound act of love and self-care. It's about protecting quality of life, preserving precious memories, and supporting long-term vitality. Even small changes, swapping one type of fish for another, reading a label more closely, can contribute significantly to years of clearer thinking, stronger bodies, healthier hearts, and overall well-being. Isn't that what we all want for ourselves and our loved ones as we age? Your health journey is not behind you. Better choices and better days are still within reach, starting right now. So, what's the next step? I encourage you to take one small action today. Maybe tonight, take a look in your fridge or freezer. Read the labels on any fish you have. Think about what you've learned. Could you make one simple swap next time you shop? Maybe opt for canned light tuna instead of that ahi steak, or choose wild-caught salmon over the farmed variety. Perhaps start a conversation with your family or doctor about making smarter seafood choices together. And I genuinely want to hear from you. Have you or a loved one regularly eaten any of these fish without realizing the risks? Was one of them a staple in your home? Please share your stories, your questions, or even your favorite safer fish alternatives in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and support each other in this journey. Because this isn't just a video, it's a community. If you found this information helpful, even just a little, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps spread this important message to others who might need it too. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Elders Guidance. This channel is dedicated to providing real, practical advice every day on aging well, staying informed, and caring for yourself and your loved ones with wisdom and intention. We cover everything from nutrition and mental health to lifestyle choices that make a big difference. Finally, let me just say, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for caring about health. And thank you for choosing knowledge and action over confusion. Every informed choice you make contributes to a better, healthier tomorrow for you and the people you cherish. Stay wise, stay healthy, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. From all of us here at Elders Guidance, take care and be well. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matters to me either way.